Foodie Gang, what is going on? What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, Saturday Foodie Gang breakfast. Today we're going to be making a Hawaiian dish called Loco Moco. I had never heard of this until I went to Portland. What it is rice, burger patty, gravy, and egg. And it's a dish that they eat in Hawaii a lot. And it was really, really popular when we would have it on the grill for a special. So we're going to be making that today. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I have not made this in a long, long time. So bear with me. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Support the channel. Donate to the channel. I tried to have a little bit of coffee, but I did not have enough. So the first thing we're gonna do is we have some onions here. We're gonna do a julienne on that, and then we got some beef bouillon cubes. If you have beef broth in the it's like a cardboard container. If you have beef stock, you can use that too. I do not have beef stock, so I am gonna be using beef bouillon. Worcestershire sauce. Did I say that right? Worcestershire sauce. We have cornstarch. This is going to be used to thicken our gravy. And then we have our burgers right here. These are from the butcher. I had these burgers this glare is driving me crazy. I had these burgers in the freezer and I was like, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And I was like, I'm going to make Loco Moco because I need to go to the grocery store. So this is perfect because I had all the stuff. So then we have our eggs here. So we got eggs, burgers, beef patties, onion, beef bouillon, Worcestershire sauce, cornstarch. And I have a little bit of this Weber Gourmet burger seasoning that we're going to use in our burger. And I also have some salt and pepper back here. Oh, and one thing I forgot is the garlic. Okay, y'all know how I feel about garlic. Fresh garlic is the way to go, but if you do not have fresh garlic, do not let them make you feel ashamed to be using this. But yes, like I said, I gotta go to the store today tomorrow we're doing the season 3 finale. We're gonna get out of season 3 and we're gonna get into a new season. So, and then I have my rice in the rice cooker back here. We have been talking about rice cookers for a long time now. Y'all know how I feel about rice cookers. If you're able to make rice on the stove, this does not apply to you. If you are one of those people who has trouble, I might get a bigger frying pan, who has trouble making rice on the stove, I suggest that you invest in a rice cooker. So we got our rice going. We're going to work on the burgers. And then when we take the burgers out of here, we're going to build our sauce in the same pan so that all the drippings from the beef will be a part of our sauce. So I'm going to turn this on. Put a little bit of oil down. And like I said, these burgers are from the butcher. When I get my meat from there, when I get my meat from the butcher, it does not tend to have a lot of fat in it. But if I would have gotten my burgers from like the store, if I get my beef from the store, it does have a higher fat content, which is what I've noticed. So really, really simple. We got our rice going. We're going to build our sauce in this pan, put our burgers on. Oh, let me cut up this onion while we wait for this to heat up. Y'all hear my knee pop? Okay. It is officially summer in Alaska, and that is why I want to get out of this season and go into season 4, and we're going to get outside. I am in the process And I am ashamed to say I don't have a grill. I'm in the process of getting a new grill. I'm going to get my outdoor set up and we're going to go outside and have barbecue. And we're going to be going to the parks. So, for your cutting board, this is a little trick, I know. Get a napkin, wet it, put it underneath your cutting board so that your cutting board does not move as much. And then while this pan heats up, we are going to cut up some onions. You don't have to put onions in your gravy. I know some people don't like onions, but I love onions. Ooh, and I even saw people that made their gravy and they put mushrooms in it. That's a really good idea too. Because it's pretty much a brown gravy, so you can put mushrooms in it if you want to. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer for my hand to get real hot. Let me, it's hot. I just touched it in the wrong way. Okay, so we got our burgers in the pan. We are making a Hawaiian dish called Loco Moco, which has rice, beef patty, egg, and gravy. So we got our burgers in there right quick. Put a little seasoning on top. Let it just sit up in there. Let me grab my hand up a little bit. Okay, so for the season finale, we're going to have meatloaf. So I am going to go live again tonight and we're going to do some prep. And then tomorrow we're going to have the Foodiegang food panel here. I believe. I'm going live no matter what. We're going to talk about McDonald's again. McDonald's is doing this thing where you have to be 21 and older to enter in Virginia. Because they were having a lot of issues with the high school that is near the McDonald's. And a lot of like fights were breaking out. And you know, kids are kind of bad these days. Not kind of, they are bad. They are bad. So we're going to talk about that. And then when we do the season finale, we chat some family here. We know one thing for sure. If don't nobody come, Toya is coming, okay? Shout out to Toya, always coming through. And then I got my onions right here. I'm just gonna leave them on there. Put a little bit of salt and pepper. But when you think about it, like this is actually a really simple dish because all you're making is like you're frying up the beef, you gotta make the eggs, the rice, and the gravy, but it's all really easy, simple. And a lot of restaurants, like when I lived in Portland, a lot of the restaurants would serve this. And we would do this as a grill special sometimes where I work. And this is really popular. I did not grow up eating this, and I never heard of this until I was an adult, but it's a really popular dish. You know what's funny? When I went to Hawaii, I did not eat this. I don't hate this dish, and I don't love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, for me, eating rice for breakfast feels weird. Because I'm not used to it. I'm looking for fashion right here. I'm not used to eating rice for breakfast, so that's not what I tend to go to. You know what's so funny? I was just asking this question on one of my live streams. If you guys eat rice for breakfast, and here I am making rice for breakfast. And somebody was telling me that they mix their rice and eggs together. Ooh. But that's kind of what this is if you really think about it. You know, look at the bottom of them. Okay. One thing I don't like about, oh my god, I played this video of a burger and it was just, I don't know what was up with that burger, but it had like this big old like bubble on the burger, and when they popped it, it was like full of blood. I was like, oh my god, I am not eating my burger if I see that. But I don't like how all this stuff be coming off the burger. All this. It was so nasty. And then we were like debating on the show, because I do time for tea during the week, where we talk about hot topics, and it's like an open panel format, so y'all can come up and share y'all thoughts. And we were all debating whether we would eat that burger or not. And somebody was like, yeah, I would eat it. That's happened to me before, and I ate the burger. I'm like, ugh, that's nasty. But I love hearing what you guys think. And that's why I do the time for tea, where I have the open panel format. So you guys can come. And you know what I'm saying? Like, tap in with me. Because right now, everybody's looking at me. Yeah. So when I do the time for tea during the week, I love it because, you know, I get to really talk to y'all. We got to chat. I'm able to read the whole chat too, because I'm not like cooking and moving around. But we be having like food debates. Y'all make sure y'all tap that like button. Join the channel, become a member, so that we have, you know, members only live stream chats. Members only live chats. You can communicate. One thing I don't like when you cook burgers is like, it be popping everywhere. So then I gotta get the rag, wipe the stove off. Y'all know how I feel about cleaning. Yeah, it's popping everywhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move my burger to a smaller pan, and I'm going to start building my sauce in there. You can see that there's a little bit of oil in there, but that's okay because we are going to saute some onions. You do not have to add onions to your Loco Moco, but if you want to, You can add, let's pop them. You can add mushrooms, onions. You're making a brown gravy. And for this gravy for today, we are going to be using cornstarch. Sometimes we use flour. I'm actually going to pour a little bit of this oil into that pan. And then we're going to start sauteing onions. We'll pour a little oil into the pan. And then you see how there's like grease on there? I'm going to wipe that just so nothing happens. And then I'm going to start sauteing my onions and we're going to build that pan sauce. All the flavors from the burger, from the beef, are going to be inside of the sauce. Okay. I got rid of my knife, but that's okay. You know what I forgot to do? Grab some water. Hey, NF, how are you doing? How are you doing? We're making Loco Moco. Have you ever had it before? Have you ever had Loco Moco? It's a Hawaiian dish with burger patties, rice, gravy, and egg. And so now we're building that gravy. Oh my gosh, I lost an onion. I'm going to put it back in here. Now, if you drop something on the floor, don't put it back in your pan. But if you drop something on your stove and you have a clean house, and y'all know my house is clean, y'all be seeing me clean all the time. And Liliana said, nope, have no clue what it is. Girl, that's fine, because when I moved to Portland, I was like, what is Loco Moco? It sounded crazy to me. But it's a Hawaiian dish. Ground beef, gravy, burger patties, and egg. I am not one of those people who typically eats rice for breakfast. And I got some water here. I don't hate Loco Moco, but I'm not a rice for breakfast person. But I'm making it today because your girl got to go to the store, and I know this is a very popular dish. I have not made it in a long time. So I put some water in here, and the pan is probably on like a 7. So we're going to let it kind of like, you know, get hot. And then I'm going to put some beef cubes in here. If you have beef stock, you can use that instead of water. But I have beef cubes, beef bouillon cubes. And my rice cooker is done. What I like to do, I like to unplug my rice cooker so that my rice is not overcooked. NF, what you cooking today? What you cooking today? And Nif said, okay, if I can't see the whole recipe, I will watch the replay, but I'm very busy today before work. Yes, NF, no problem. Thank you for stopping by. And I have not posted the recipe yet, but I'm going to post it after this video. Because last weekend, I did not like how I was so behind my recipes. And it's like, if I don't post it right after, it's I don't know, what be happening. But we got a lot of cooking that we're going to do this weekend. So I'm going to try to get that recipe posted so I can move on with my life. Ooh, she said something simple. Chicken fajitas and some elotes. Is elotes the Mexican street corn? Or is that a different thing? It is so fascinating how we could all be cooking the same thing. Or we all have the same ingredients, but we make different stuff. It's crazy. Okay, she said yes, ma'am. Okay, I was like, because I know I've seen that before. But you know, they always refer to it as Mexican street corn. When you hear someone say elotes, you know they for real. They for real. Okay, so we're gonna let our beef cubes kind of break down. I'm gonna reassess and see if we need to add a third one. Keep in mind, these beef bouillon cubes are very salty. So, before you add a bunch of salt to your gravy, just keep that in mind. And if you're using seasonings that have salt in them, that's another thing that you gotta keep in mind. And okay, so I unplug my rice cooker. Let me get some water. Y'all stay hydrated. Especially, it's getting really, really hot outside. It was already hot. It's hot outside. Your girl needs to drink more water. And she said, yep, in English is Mexican street corn, and in Spanish elote. And if you want to be all bougie, laugh aloud, and add stuff to the corn, it's called mesquite. I'm trying to think. Have I ever actually tried elotes myself? I don't remember. But that was another thing that was popular in Oregon. In Oregon, there's a lot of Hispanic, a lot of Mexican restaurants, Mexican grocery stores. Like, they really expose. You know, I love them burrito. Woo! Yeah. Okay, Liliana said it's pronounced mesquite. See, I'm just gonna have to hear you say it. And I'm that kind of person where it's like, I gotta hear somebody say something to like really, you know, be able to get it. I gotta hear you say it. Okay, mesquite. But I don't think I've ever actually had elotes, Mexican street corn. I don't think I've ever had it, but I remember at the farmers market in Oregon, they would always have stands selling Mexican street corn, and I have heard really great things about it. I have just never had it myself. I'm gonna put in one more beef cube. So we got the rice down, working on the gravy. Burger patties down. I'm going to add a little bit of water to the burger patty so it doesn't dry out. And I'm going to put a lid on it. Okay, here we go. But best friend, what is your work schedule like? And okay, you guys have got to subscribe to NF's YouTube channel. She does a lot of cooking tutorials. She'll go live sometimes, and it's a family-centered channel. So you'll see her kids and her family members on her channel a lot. And she does a lot of like tutorials, which I just want to say, I give you props on your editing. It is very hard to edit. And when I be seeing your videos, I'm like, man, I need to start editing some more. Yes, you did take a break, NF, and I saw your post on your page, but I also saw you on live the other day. And NF, you post so consistent. Like, honestly, if you miss a day or two, nobody would really notice. Because she literally posts every day. But when I see your videos, I'm like, man, I need to do better. On the editing, it's so hard. But you know what I feel like I do? I feel like I over-edit. Because I'll be working on the same video for days. Trying to get it, like, absolutely perfect. And it's just like, just hurry up and do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just realized I didn't put any Worcestershire sauce on my burgers. I'm pouring it in there now. And I got them back over here on low. You know what? Sometimes it is necessary to take breaks from any job, especially when you're a content creator. You gotta stay out of the way. And it's like, oh no, girl, don't stress yourself out that much. Yes, exactly. And so the other day, I was like, you know what? Let me just finish this video and be done with it. You know, like, it's not gonna be perfect. I'm still learning how to edit and make videos. Like, I feel like I'll be too, like, critical on myself. I want to take some of these onions out because I feel like I have too many onions in here. But yeah, I just be like over editing my videos. And so it'd be taking me forever. And I also have another YouTube channel, Ava's Playtime, where I make children's content. Most of that content is edited. And so I just have so many videos in the editing studio. It's crazy. I ain't feeling nothing else. Yes, that is very true, Liliana, and I have done a couple of like the shorts, how-tos, because I know people were asking for that as well. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we got our bowl here. We're going to put a little bit of cornstarch in here and mix it with some water. And this will be considered a slurry. And then we're going to pour it into our gravy and make that thick. Put a little bit of black pepper in here. Oh, I got to put some garlic in here. Yeah, I guess. But you know what? Those short form videos, I don't think people realize it. Those are a lot of work. That's a whole cooking session. But I will say this, if I make a video, it's easier to edit into 1 minute than it is to edit into like 5 minutes. If that makes sense. But I'm gonna get better at my editing. In which I'm not terrible at editing. I've made a lot of edited videos. It is so much easier to go live and talk to people and just be done with it. It is so much easier just to go live, be done with it. But the edited videos are great too, because people may not have time to watch a whole live stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might not have time. I'm gonna put a little bit of that cornstarch in here and mix it with some water. And cornstarch is very messy, so be careful. It's almost like flour. And then I'm gonna get a whisk. I'm gonna stir, stir, stir. You can always add more cornstarch, but I say this, Foodiegang, you can always add ingredients, but you cannot take away. So keep that in mind when you cooking. If you oversalt your dish, that's it. Ain't no going back. Ain't no going back. So. Okay, when you use cornstarch, you have to bring it to a boil to activate it all of the way. Put some of that garlic in there. And it looks like water now, but the cornstarch is going to activate and make the sauce thicker. when you first pour the cornstarch in there, let me be careful with my stirring. I'll be stirring all crazy. It's gonna take a while for you to see it get thick. It has to come to a boil before you see it get thick. This is what you do to thicken your sauce if you want your sauce to be gluten-free. Because a lot of the times, people use flour. They make a roux to thicken your sauce. But if you're someone who is gluten-free, you can't have a roux-based sauce. You have to use cornstarch. And when I worked in the kitchen in Portland, I did not know this, but a lot of people apparently have allergies or celiac disease. So when I was in Portland, we would use cornstarch a lot of the time to thicken our sauces. You guys can see it boiling. It's gonna be getting thicker. Put a little bit more in there. I watched this video where they just sprinkled the cornstarch into the gravy without making the slurry. I've seen people do that, and that way it's not completely wrong, but I like to activate my cornstarch in the water so that I can make sure I don't have any clumps of cornstarch. But if you just want to sprinkle your cornstarch straight in, do you? I can see my cornstarch is not getting that thick, so I'm gonna probably put the rest of this in there. Be very careful during this step. Everything is very, very hot. You don't want to have no accidents. Definitely don't want to walk away from the stove for a long period of time. Anyway, don't be trying to say I sent you to cook something and the house burned down. Don't blame that on me. Because I told you to be careful. I think one of the things people always underestimate is kitchen safety. But I'll tell you, I've seen some really nasty, like, injuries or knife cuts. Like, you gotta be careful in the kitchen. And then if this doesn't get thicker, I'll make another slurry. A little bit more cornstarch in there. Let's see. Okay. And before you consider your gravy to be done, we are going to taste it. Just to make sure there's not more flavors we need to add. If we need to put some oregano in here. see. Okay, I'm gonna teach you guys this trick. When you know your sauces are good, is that it can coat the back of a spoon. And this one can coat the back of the spoon. I see it. Like, you see how it's just not running off? It's coating it. But I still want it to be a little bit thicker. Let's see. Let's taste it. Okay, oh sorry, I'm sorry. I was so into it, I forgot I was supposed to be talking. I'm supposed to be talking to y'all. Okay, the gravy tastes good. I'm gonna add some black pepper. I'm sorry, I forgot I was supposed to be talking. You guys, it is so hard to cook and talk. I know I'll be making it look easy, but it is hard. And it's like some moments I need to focus on what I got going on. I might pour this Worcestershire sauce in there. Pour some Worcestershire sauce in our gravy. The next thing that we're going to work on is going to be the eggs. So, it's going to be the eggs. Let me get some things moved around here. Put this cornstarch back. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's one thing about when you have edited videos. When you drop something on an edited video, you can blur it out. Or you can edit it out. But when you're live, it is what it is. You gotta roll with it. Okay, so we're gonna put this gravy off to the side and put it on low. And as this cooks some more, the gravy is done right now. You can take it off the heat, but I'm gonna put it on low to keep it kind of warm. As this gravy cooks, it will also thicken up too. Here we go. And then you can make you can use flour if you want to make a roux-based gravy. Or you can use cornstarch. It's totally up to you what you want to do. We ain't tripping like that. As long as you... The only rule in the kitchen I feel is to wash your hands. Make sure this doesn't hit. And then we got our burger patties right here. This is for our egg. It's just like it's never enough room in my kitchen. I need a bigger kitchen, Foodiegang. I need a bigger kitchen. That's what that is. Me dropping stuff, not having enough room. You know what? Sometimes when I get ready for these live streams, I have to kind of like stop myself because I will be prepping out and cleaning up forever. And I'm like, okay, let me just start the live stream. Whatever happens, happens. Okay, so we're putting our plate back here. Let me move y'all. Maybe I should move y'all a little closer. We're putting our plate back here. I like to hurry on this process because I have the egg on. And I know that eggs, you know, they are how they are. So I'm going to hurry so that my egg doesn't get overcooked. So, this is what we got so far. We're making Loco Moco. We got the rice, the burger patty. Now we're going to hit it with the gravy. Okay, okay. And I'm gonna make another plate too, but I'm gonna show y'all what we got so far. I'm gonna turn my plate off. We have Loco Moco. This is a Hawaiian dish that consists of white rice, burger patty, gravy, and a sunny side up egg. And we did decorate it with a little bit of parsley. If you go to a restaurant and you order this, it'll probably come with like fresh parsley. You might see green onions, but this is what they be eating in Hawaii. I am not really a rice for breakfast type of person, but I know that this dish particularly is very, very popular. And your girl gotta go shopping. But I happen to have, it was so funny, I happen to have all the ingredients to make Loco Moco, so that's what we're doing. Let me get that. Now I'm fire, I can turn my other light back on. Let me make sure that's not hot. And we're gonna make one more plate. So let me get that going. And then I'm gonna put my egg on so my egg doesn't overcook. And the idea of it is that when you break the yolk, it'll like run down all of it. Some people don't like yolk, some people do. But I feel like this: you either love yolk or you hate it. It's really, I never met anybody who's like in between. A lot of people like to like dip their bread in the egg yolk. I don't want this pan to get too hot, so let me take that off. Start getting rid of some of these dishes right here. Now we're going to put this pan back on. We're going to make our last egg. We are making Loco Moco. This is a Hawaiian dish. That may be why you never have heard of it. Loco Moco, anybody? This is a Hawaiian dish consisting of rice, a burger patty, and a sunny side up egg. And we did hit it with a little bit of parsley, make it look real nice and pretty. So when you pop the yolk, the idea is that it runs down. I made two because I'm gonna eat one, or we're gonna do a taste test, and then with the other one, I'm gonna get a picture for my food group on Facebook that y'all should be a part of. Foodiegang fan page. And if you are not a member on this channel, go ahead and get your membership. Come hang out with us and receive exclusive perks. We are going to be back live tonight. We're going to be doing some prep for our finale. We are ending season 3 and we're going into season 4. What we're going to be prepping out is we're going to have a meatloaf dinner, and we're going to have the family here. Well, I haven't asked them yet, but when you tell people that you got free food, they be coming, okay? So let me get set up for the table. And we're actually gonna sit down, we're gonna talk, we're gonna chill for a little bit. Look at that. And hey Outdoors, how are you doing? Have you ever had Loco Moco? Do you know what Loco Moco is? Okay, I'm gonna get y'all situated over here at the table. Okay, woo! Your girl had to open the window because it's getting hot up in here. I looked up why they had the name Loco Moco, but I didn't really get what they was talking about. But it's called Loco Moco. You know what, Outdoors? Outdoors been trying to get me to be back in the kitchen. So I'm glad you showed up, Outdoors, because we finally back in the kitchen. Outdoors do not like when I'll be going live and I don't be cooking. We are back in the kitchen today. No, he said never had it. Sounds like crazy coffee, maybe spike. It does. When I first heard of this dish, I was like, what? I'm gonna turn this music off. I was like, what the heck? I was like, what is Loco Moco? And then they were like, this is when I worked in the kitchen when I was in Oregon. They was like, you don't know what Loco Moco is? I'm like, no, because mind you, I'm coming from Alaska, so a lot of the things that they may have eaten before, I have never had before. So I didn't know what Loco Moco is. And I learned of this dish when I worked in the kitchen, and we were actually serving it on the grill. Until before then, I never knew. And even when I went to Hawaii, I did not eat Loco Moco. But I had Kahlua pork, eggs Benedict. It was so good. Blaze, what's going on, Blaze? What's going on, Blaze? Yes, look. And Outdoor said, oh, it's the food you made. I just Googled it. Look, I am never going to say something is something and not be what it is. If you Google Loco Moco, this gonna pop up, okay? Look. Is that a home cooked meal I smell? A brother has perfect timing. Yes, Blaze. You know, Blaze always comes in when I'm finishing up the food. Or when I'm done eating, I'm done and I'm eating. But yes, Loco Moco, rice, gravy, sunny side of egg, and a burger patty. So under this egg, there actually is a burger patty under here. And when we would serve this, y'all see it? When we would serve this in the kitchen, we would give people 2 burger patties. Just because, like, at the time, they were, like, paying for their meals. And you're paying for it, you get 1 burger patty. You're like, bro, what the heck? What's up? Where my food at? Here we go. Yes, Outdoors gravy. This sauce right here is gravy. I made it with the cornstarch. But you can do a roux-based gravy if you want to. And then in the gravy, I put some onions in here. You can add mushrooms if you want. That's what I think I want to do next time. But you guys, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I am not a big rice for breakfast type of person. I didn't grow up like that, so I'm not used to it. But I'm going to eat rice breakfast for y'all today. Because your girl got to go to the store, and this is what I had left. So I was like, it was Friday night, right? I was like, dang, I got to cook tomorrow. And I didn't know what I was cooking until like last night. I went on a walk around the corner. Y'all know it's getting warm outside. And I'm like, damn, what am I going to cook? And it was like 11 at night. And I was like, hey, I should make Loco Moco. Because I had these burgers in the freezer. I was like, I should make Loco Moco. I got all the stuff. So here we are, y'all. Here we are. But yeah, sometimes I don't know what I'm going to cook until the day before. And then sometimes I will be craving something all week long. And then that's how I know. And I just said rice is good for you. I heard that rice had like carbs and all that. I've heard mixed things about rice. So here we go with the rice and some of the gravy and the burger patty. Mmm. Mmm. That beef gravy, the flavor, this mat is about to make me something. I'm about to move it. I normally put a paper towel in here so it doesn't move, but you remember I was telling y'all I gotta go to the store? I ain't got no paper towels left. I used my last few paper towels with y'all, Foodiegang. That's how important y'all are. And I was say it's probably mushroom time in Alaska. I bet you could find some mushrooms if you keep your eye open. Outdoors, I'm gonna be honest with you. I am not one of those people to go out in nature and start picking stuff to eat. Just because I don't know, I don't have enough knowledge. I feel like you need to know what's going on. But one time I did, I was taking a walk in Oregon. And there was some, I think it was marronberries. And I picked them and took them home. And I made a marronberry sauce. And I put it over some roasted chicken. And I made a tostada with mangoes. I think it had peppers and carrot. It was so good. But that was the only time. But with mushrooms, though, I'm scared with mushrooms. And I'm one of those people to encourage you. You probably be going on hikes and stuff, too, outdoors. Outdoors, I wish you were my neighbor. So I can be like, hey, I want to pick some food. Can you help me? I'm like, cause I be worried like what I'm gonna pick is poisonous. Just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Like I'll be that one person, I'll pick some, eat it, fall out. Outdoor said, yep, got to be careful. Pop the yolk for y'all. Ooh, you got a drip. Look at that. Now this is what they be eating in Hawaii. It's different for me. A lot of people probably wouldn't like this, but this is what they eat in Hawaii, y'all. So, one thing I know is that when you go to Hawaii and you're dealing with stuff that is native to that to their land, whether it's something that they eat, something that they do, one of their traditions, you need to always have respect, okay? You can't be up in there and be like, oh, this is nasty at the table. Don't do that. Be respectful and just say, no, I'm okay. And Outdoor said morel mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, and chicken of the woods mushrooms is easy to identify. You know what? I have like, when I was hiking in Oregon, I would see some wild mushrooms, but I never thought to pick them and to cook them. I never thought that. Mmm. Dang, this is really good though. The last time I had this was like years ago. That's really good though. I think this dish came about, in my opinion, this is all allegedly, this is what I think. I think they didn't have no money. And they was like, oh, we got rice, we got beef patties, we got egg, and we can make a gravy. Because if you really think about it, if you had a restaurant, this would be a good dish to sell because none of it costs a lot of money to produce. And you can make a gravy, you can make beef patties real easy on the flat top, and then you can have your gravy already sitting, and you can use your gravy in a bunch of different dishes. And then you just make the egg up real quick and put it together. See outdoors, that's why I just go to the store. That's crazy. And okay, so Alger said Morozzo simple tide deacon oysters and chicken of the wood grow out the side of trees. Great meat substitutes. Okay, let me ask you this. You know how they have shrooms and they have regular mushrooms? How is the shrooms a certain type of mushrooms that give you like that psychedelic effect? I think I'm saying it right. Is it a different type of mushrooms, or is it like a mushroom that's like extra dried out? Or is it a different variety? Let me know some. Let me know some. Okay, but you guys, we're going to be going live again tonight. Y'all hit the like button, tap in with the channel. Become a member, support the channel, donate to the channel so that we can continue to cook. I was like, continue to talk. Well, that is true though, so we can continue to talk and cook. Okay, so time for tea. I think time for tea I'm going to do during the week. And then I'll cook on the weekends maybe. I'm still kind of figuring it out. But on Monday's time for tea, this story was brought to me by one of you guys. And you guys have been asking me to report on this story. So we are going to. We are going to talk about the Mexican TikTok influencer that was unalived on live. It was condolences to the family. But the reason that we're going to talk about it is to kind of bring awareness to the situation. Some people may not know about this story. I don't know. One thing that she owned a beauty salon. One thing I don't really know yet is like, did everyone know that that was her salon? So were they able to track her to where she was? And that's why sometimes with these lives, you guys got to be careful. You know, gotta be careful. But it was just so unfortunate what happened to her. So we're gonna talk about that on Monday. And we're gonna talk more about Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. Look, I feel like I be getting tired of talking about them, but I feel like y'all like it because them shows do good. Outdoors, can you post a picture of that type of mushroom on your page? Or do you have IG? Just like, so it's called chicken of the woods. I've never heard of that type of mushroom. And there's a couple different compounds in different mushrooms. See, this is the kind of friends I need. The kind of friends that like know about stuff I don't know about. Because I have never really had a green thumb. I'm one of those people where it's like, you grow the food and you give me the vegetables and I will make something good with the vegetables. But can I myself garden? Things may change in the future, but so far, no. Mmm. Yeah, this this sauce is really good. And as I said, some contain, I cannot say that word. Some contain amylotoxins, which is dangerous to your liver, like Amanita panthera contains, but have to be cooked before consuming and are actually legal. How do you know all this stuff outdoors? You be studying mushrooms? I tell you, I have learned more in this 2 years with this YouTube channel about food than I learned when I was in culinary school. Because when I was in culinary school, we were learning about one type of cuisine, which is French food. When I get on the internet, yes, people from all over the world, all over the country, telling me about food I never knew about, teaching me about different ingredients. I have just learned so much by having this channel. So much. It's too much to even like to remember. I'd be so thankful for the live chats where I can go back and look it up. And as I study mushrooms, it's a lot of fun. Y'all check out his channel for all things outdoors. That's cool. He said, can't play around, I need food, the grocery store closes down. You know what? During COVID, I thought the grocery store was going to shut down. I really did. And I feel like a lot of people thought that. And maybe that was why they were stockpiling toilet paper. But I kind of thought that too. And I'm like, one of those people who's like, man, you never know. Are you one of those doomsday preppers? Do you have like, you know, a bottle of water? Well, everybody should have water stocked up. But you have like the MREs. You got like the little face mask, the gas mask, the little camo outfits. They ready for the world to end. I'm like, you know what? If the world is going to end, I don't think I want to be on the planet where the world is ended. Because it don't sound like there's going to be nothing left, right? Need deer in the freezer and the ability to forage. Look, I think you a doomsday prepper. He said, no, I just got camo if I need a gas mask. But yeah, if the world ends... Oh, did you guys ever watch that show? The 100? I think it was like on the CW. But the 100, like that's what happened to them. They were living in like a... Well, they got sent to outer space. Because something in the world... Something was going to happen with the world where it was going to like shut the world down. So their parents and stuff sent them to outer space. They came back to Earth years later, right? Earth was gone. There was like some type of like, what do you call that? Where you can't breathe the air. It was like some sort of toxin in the air that had wiped Earth out. So there was only like small groups of people left. But it was like everyone was in survival mode. So if you saw someone, it was just a crazy show. But then like, I feel like when TV shows go for too many seasons, it starts becoming like kind of like crazy with the plot, you know? I agree too, outdoors. We are in some crazy times. But you know what everybody needs? A good home cooked meal. Okay, so I released some pre-recorded content on Wednesday. And then yesterday, on Friday, I also released a video explaining to you guys about my brain tumor and how I have a brain tumor and how I was diagnosed. And that video is going to be in my video tab on my page. So go check it out. Yeah, it's just a great video to watch. Great testimony. I'm still here, y'all, after all this time. Look, I be going through it. That's why I be like so nonchalant, but like leave me alone. I don't want to hear nothing. This burger patty, the seasoning on here is really good. I use the Weber Gourmet burger seasoning when I get my grill. Because I'm going to the store today, and I feel like if I see the grill I want, I'm going to buy a grill. Toy got some chairs. I'm going to get some tables. We're going to have an outdoor setup. When I be on the grill making burgers, I'm going to use that Weber seasoning because that seasoning is really, really good. Y'all, I saw all that mess about how I don't eat rice for breakfast, and look, I'm over here smashing this Loco Moco. Okay, after this video, I'm gonna get the recipe posted. I want to make sure I have my recipes posted because I have a lot of cooking content that we're gonna do this weekend and a lot of lives. And the lives I set up, y'all can see the schedule for this weekend. Working on the schedule for next week. We are going to be back with Time for Tea during this week. I really like Time for Tea when we get to sit down, chop it up, talk, and we get to go over hot topics. A lot of these subjects I watch. I just wasn't commenting on them because I was mainly doing the food. But I was like, you know what? Why don't we talk about some hot topics and sip some tea? And then I can talk about hot topics. Let me just put the food in there. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh my goodness, this burger patty is good. Okay, and I have another plate that I'm gonna bring over to show you guys. Okay, you know what outdoors made me so mad? When I showed your channel, you were nowhere to be found. But I love supporting other content creators. And I have gone on other people's pages and like showed the content. But outdoors that pull up some on mushroom shorts sometime will be a good wild food topic. So in your shorts and the mushroom shorts that you make, are you like, I gotta go watch them, but are you actually in the forest picking mushrooms? And then yes, outdoors, you were nowhere to be found. I said, oh, I'm so mad, but I did show your channel. I watch a lot of different content on YouTube. I'm not really like stuck into one thing. Because honestly, I will watch a little bit of something and get tired and have to watch something totally different. So I watch a little bit of everything. Wow, outdoors in the woods. In the woods. You better than me. When I be walking, I go walk around the block. There gotta be houses. I don't know, like, I think I'm just like a scary person or something. But it's like when I be walking, I will ride my bike on the bike path. I don't have a problem with that. Cause I'm moving fast, you know what I'm saying? But I'm always looking around, looking for sketchy people. You know, people is crazy these days. You never know. What is bow hunting? And do you mean dirt bikes? I like main things I'll be watching on YouTube, or it's weird because like years ago I had YouTube, but I would never comment. I didn't have my channel, so I was watching off my personal YouTube. I would watch a lot of the Animal Planet. I would watch a lot of the Food Network shows. Like one of my favorite shows was Bar Rescue with John. He's so funny. So I would watch a lot of like the home improvement, animal shows, and then a lot of like the food competition shows. But I feel like lately what I've been watching a lot of is like the panel shows, the stuff with the celebrities and the rappers. And then I do my politics. I love politics. And I actually have tried to talk about politics a couple times on this channel. You guys do not like when I talk about politics. But I really like politics. And so I feel like every couple of years what I watch changes. But right now I've been liking like I've been watching No Cap TV with Freezy, a lot of the panel shows. I watch the Drip Show. And then I watch a lot of like smaller channels too to like show support to those people. So the people that have like 5K to 20K. So you know, I like watching those smaller channels because you will really get an honest opinion. Cause they ain't got nothing to lose and nothing to gain. So I like to watch a lot of different stuff. And then my daughter, she watches a lot of like the Dress and Impress Roblox stuff. And so because she's watching it, I'll be watching it too. Monitor what you guys' kids are watching. Talk to your children. They are little people with feelings. Talk to them, monitor what they watch, and really spend time with your child, you know. Take them on coffee dates. Take them to get ice cream. Take them on walks. I always say, go to the park. It's free. I love the park, and I can't wait to Ava. Oh, Ava got her cast off, and now she has a boot on. But I love taking Ava to the park. Oh, okay. So I was gonna say you can spot it on the side of the path. Okay, I'm gonna like when I walk on the, or I'm actually gonna look, probably do like just probably like a Facebook group or a Google search and see where in Alaska can you find mushrooms, because they probably have, you know, spots that are highlighted, because there are people who like stuff like that. What do you call it? Foraging? Is that what it's called? Outdoors? Yes, he said, yep, they're going to be adults one day. You better raise them right. Yes. That is the reason why I started Ava's Playtime. I do make children's content. That was actually how I started my YouTube journey on making kids content. Because I feel like childhood is so important. And we always over talk it. But you'll meet somebody who's 40 and 50 years old talking about what happened in their childhood. Childhood is so important. That's why I created Ava's Playtime, because it's like, a kid can be having a bad day and log on and see our videos and become happy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we get so caught up in like the dynamics and all that, whether you have money or not. It's not about money. It's about love. And hey, Scrimblies, I saw you sneak up in here. Oh, they have mushrooms ID apps? That's tight. I did not know that. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to do that. And I think it'll help me like get outside more, walk. Scrimley said, hello, Foodiegang, cooking some bacon, spam, and eggs. I have not had spam in so long. When I went to Hawaii, I tried. I think it's called like is it called Mushubishi? No, I know that's not the right name. It's like spam, rice, and seaweed. What is that called, Foodiegang? I know that's not the right name. Let me get the display play so I can show. Yeah, it's called Spam Mashubu. Am I saying it right? I know I'm not. But I went to the gas station and I got it because I was in Hawaii. I wanted to try it because I always see it. Y'all, that thing was good. And I got it from the gas station and they had it like warmed up. It was good. Masubi. Yes, but there's a restaurant here that serves it. But I got it to try it. I feel like don't be afraid to try new things, you know. But I always say, if you ain't got no money, that is not the right time to be trying new stuff. Because you are going to be mad that you spend your last $5 on something that's nasty. So try new foods when you have money. And then Alder said, yep, take top, side, and bottom pick of mushroom and it shows you what it most likely is and picks of mushrooms with names for you to decide. Oh, wow. That's tight. But that was the last time I had Spam. I went to Hawaii in like 2021. But when I was growing up, my mom, let me grab the other plate. I'm going to tell y'all a bit my Spam story when I come back. Okay, this is what we made. We made Loco Moco. Okay, so when I was growing up, my mom would always make Spam. I remember on the weekends, she would be frying up. Oh, almost about to break something back there. On the weekends, she'd be frying up Spam, and we get up and we just smell Spam. And she would serve it with bread. I think sometimes we even put eggs on the side of it. But yes, this is what we made today, and I'm pretty full, so I need to stop. Ooh, scrimbly. You know what? I have some bacon grease. I try not to eat a ton of pork. And I don't think that I need to be adding more grease to my food. But I have some bacon grease. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or toss it out. But bacon grease is great to save. And you can use it in so much stuff. Oh my goodness, Scrimbly. Scrimbly said I'm hopping out the window. Okay? Elsewhere. He said, and then cook the eggs in the bacon grease. But don't everything taste like bacon then? That's another thing. When you use bacon grease, keep in mind that it will put a little bit of that bacon flavor in your food. Scrimbly, for people that don't eat pork, they cringe so hard when they read your comment about how you fry everything in bacon grease. You ain't playing. You fry everything in the pork grease. But yes, tonight, this is going to be our last prep video of season 3. We're ending season 3 tomorrow. We got to get out of that season. We got to get to the new season. We are going to do some more prep. I know that we haven't done a prep video in a long... I feel like we haven't done a prep video in a long time. But I feel like you guys really like that type of content where we're just prepping out. We might be sipping on something. And we just kind of kick back and chilling. We're going to kick back and chill tonight. We're going to prep out stuff. Your girl got her day cut off for her. I'm going to try to do a whole bunch of stuff today. But tonight, I'm going to come back and we're going to prep. I have to skin some potatoes. Or I got to peel. I said skin. Like I like to be some meat. I got to peel some potatoes. We'll probably get our beef mixed up. Our beef mixture. Yeah. And Aldora said, I love... Whoa. I hit too many buttons, y'all. I almost reported somebody on accident. Aldora said, last year I ground some of my deer meat up with bacon and mixed. Ooh, was it good? I love bacon too. I'm a Southern man. I'll take the leftover bacon grease and make mayo. Have you guys ever had bacon jam? when I worked in the kitchen, bacon jam was really, really popular. That was another food I never really heard of. It's like, we used to make bacon jam for the sandwich bar, and you can put it on your sandwich. And I haven't made it in a while, but I think what we used to do, we used to get like a bunch of like bacon in pieces, and we would cook them in the oven, let them cool down, and then I think we used to mix them with like brown sugar, onion, and a bunch of other stuff. And when it gets done, it's like kind of like bacon mayo, like out simply said. But it's so freaking good. It's so good. And it's like, you don't even have to put bacon on your sandwich because you got the bacon jam. You know, I might have to look up a recipe and maybe do a short video or something, because that bacon jam is bomb. Oh. And then, excuse me, I got to get back to my cooking too. My show is called Kill It to Skill It. Yeah. I like that, especially if you're hunting your own food. But yeah, I might have to share that bacon jam with y'all. I haven't made it in years, but it was so good. I think that y'all would like it for the people that eat pork. Now, if you don't eat pork, the bacon jam recipe is clearly not for you. And I don't know why, but in my opinion, people that don't eat pork always try to shame people that eat pork. Yeah. They always try to make you feel bad. They be like, "Oh, that's dirty." I'm like, just because you don't do it doesn't mean that you need to try to like shame other people. And I just said that's a good fall time recipe. Yeah, you know what? A lot of times, like, some of the stuff that I've cooked before, I'll actually forget about it until somebody says something to me. And, like, when you said the bacon aioli, it reminded me of the bacon jam I used to make when I worked in the kitchen. But, yes, there we go. We got Loco Moco here. And, when I be cooking on the weekends, I be making so much food that I actually have leftovers for the beginning of the week. And y'all be like, why are you not in the kitchen? Because I have so many leftovers. I cannot keep cooking. I need to, you know what I'm saying? Outdoor said, are you a seasonal eater cooker? Do you mean, like, say for instance, it's summertime, you're eating more seafood? Do you mean seasonal like that? Or like, whatever vegetables come in that season is what you tend to eat? And Surma said pork is a filthy animal, but so is crawfish, shrimp, oysters, etc. It all gets clean before we eat it. No disrespect to those who don't eat it, though. Yes, but you know what? People that don't eat pork, I feel like they be shaming people. Y'all need to stop. Yeah. And I just said how we be like, get it in the kitchen, women. Yeah, you know, but I do feel like the things I could kind of do go with the seasons. Like for season 3, which was like we were mainly in the winter season, I was making a lot of like soups, stews, or more like comfort food. And then I even made acorn squash, which is a winter squash. And in the summer, I'll probably be making like zucchini or whatever squash they have available at the store. I do like to like buy things that are in season. But outdoors, you are really into it, so you really know everything. Me, I just go to the store, I'm like, oh, I didn't see out here months ago. That must be in season. Ooh, Streamy said I'll be making some zuppa toscana soon. What is that? Is that a soup? And Streamy, or outdoors said, I mean like summer, eat certain foods like for the season, like making more tea in the summer. Chili in the fall. Yes, I do. In the summer, I know in some countries they eat soup in the summer. I don't really eat soup in the summer unless I'm sick. There are foods like in the summertime, I will eat more seafood. I'll eat more grilled foods. In the winter, like for season 3, I didn't really cook a ton of seafood. It's, but yeah, I tend to like in the summer, I'll eat more fish. I'll be eating more fruits as well. Yeah. I feel like this. I never really paid attention, but now that I have this YouTube channel where I'm like making all these thumbnails, documenting my journey with food, I'm starting to notice certain trends. I'm like, dang, I use a lot of garlic. Dang, I always got eggs in my food. So you start to kind of like notice trends when you start tracking everything. Scrimley said Italian potato soup. I feel like I've heard of that before. Scrimley be cooking, okay? Shout out to the Foodiegang. The Foodiegang be cooking. And that's why we don't be all mad like that. And you can probably find leeks and wild onions this time of year there. What is a wild onion? I have heard of leeks before. When I was in Portland, we used to use them a lot. I didn't really get what the big deal was. Like, they have that leek and potato soup. Do you guys like shallots? Do y'all like shallots? It has like a sweeter taste in the onion, and it's like smaller. Look, Scrimley said a full belly makes for a happy person. Look, trying to tell y'all. I was watching something years ago. I can't remember what it was. But somebody was talking about people that are on diets or like that go to the gym a lot be so uptight. And they don't be happy. They be mad. And then people who eat whatever they want and they're happy. They're happy. And I was like, that's an interesting perspective. I think there's a balance. You know, you gotta think about your health. You know, you can't go to McDonald's for 30 days and eat all your meals there and think you're gonna be okay. Do y'all remember that movie? I don't know why I just randomly thought of this. Do y'all remember that movie, Super Size Me? Where the young women had a lawsuit against McDonald's for saying that it made them, like, fat, right? So there's this gentleman who went and ate at McDonald's, like, 3 times a day. I think he did it for, like, a month. Bro, his health took a sharp downturn quickly. And he was, like, throwing up. He was just going through it from eating all that fast food like that. He was going through it. And others are like green onions, like you'll see them sprouting up. Looks like dark clumps of tall grass stands out of dark green. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, outdoors. I'll be getting myself out the stores. I don't be going around trying to pick and forage. I be scared. I wish I had a friend like you that would encourage me though. I need some mental support. Like, Chef Big Bag, you're not gonna die. Don't worry. What you pick out ain't gonna be poisonous. And Shirley said, I don't eat fast food anymore. I got 5 eggs, 4 slices of bacon, and 4 slices of spam with toast. Look. Fast food done got so skimpy and expensive. You might as well cook at home. Cause you go up to McDonald's and you get a meal, a breakfast, you get a little tiny sandwich. A hash brown and a drink. $12. And then you won't even be full, but you will have just consumed so many calories. Because of what they're putting in that stuff. It's weird. It's like, how am I not full but I just consumed half my calories for the day? And then I am your friend encouraging you. I'm gonna look it up online, and I was just thinking like, dang, I need to like go on a hike and do more outdoorsy stuff. I'm gonna put some air. One of my plans today is to put some air in my bike and take that out, knock the dust off of it. It's been sitting in the garage all winter. And I was gonna say, if you find mushrooms, you could still learn even if you don't eat them. I did that for 4 years before I started eating them. I passed up so many good mushrooms. Outdoors, in my mom friend group, there's a woman in the group who absolutely loves mushrooms. Every time I see her, she's talking about mushrooms. And you and her would be like the best of friends because you love mushrooms and she loves mushrooms. She even drinks the mushroom coffee. I still have not tried it yet. I went to the coffee shop. They said that they have it there for $4. It's like, dang. Maybe I should order that. They call it mud water, which is like the mushroom coffee. Maybe I should order that and a coffee. Because after I like, if it's nasty, I'm going to be so mad. But then at least I'll have my coffee to come, or something. And I've never had it. Outdoors, how do you store your mushrooms? And certainly, so I've been eating full breakfast, medium lunch, small dinner, stop eating at 7. That is some great discipline. A lot of people skip breakfast or don't have time for breakfast. And they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That's just what they say. I feel like on times when you have time to cook breakfast, it's just, I like cooking, so maybe that's why I'm saying this. I like making breakfast. Like, breakfast is one of my favorite meals of the day. And it's always simple stuff. It don't take that long. Now, dinner takes forever. Look at that. I could pop that yolk right now and it'll come running. Yeah. That's how well cooked this is, okay? And this is real Loco Moco, okay? I'm not just telling y'all a name and putting the picture with it. This is for real, for real. This is what you would get when you went to Hawaii. This is how it would come out to your table. Elder said I wash them, let them dry, and freeze them. They thaw and freeze quick. Freeze once. Wow, I never had frozen mushrooms before. But when the lady in my mom's friend group, she was telling me that mushrooms have some great benefits. I've also heard that mushrooms are good for your brain. And they're really good for you. Y'all, I talk so much. But shout out to the Foodiegang, because I love that y'all be so tapped in. Because when I'm talking to my family, they're like, don't ask all the questions. We gotta go. But I love it here because it's like, when I pull up to YouTube, I can just talk and say what I want and go on for hours and hours and hours. And y'all be right there listening, tapped in, and commenting back. And I'll just say, oh yeah, so many benefits, mushrooms, so many different benefits. There's a lot of pseudoscience with mushroom soup. Did I say that right? Is it pseudoscience? See, I was talking about this dish because when I made the gravy, I was like, oh, I wish I had mushrooms. But it's crazy that we go to the store and we buy stuff when we could really grow it ourselves. I think it goes back to that time and that convenience thing, A lot of people just don't have time. They don't even have time to cook. And you know how I know? Because when I be doing Uber Eats, People be buying like family dinners from like KFC, McDonald's. Like, people don't even have time to cook. And I'll just say allegedly. Shout out to Foodiegang, always helping me allegedly. I don't feel like people don't really have time to cook. People don't like to cook. They want to just do their DoorDash and just be done with it. And then, you know, oh my goodness, y'all. Okay. Y'all know how I was telling y'all how I'll be watching a lot of different stuff. So, just came across my screen. There was this couple in Oklahoma who had a food donation center, right? And they were set up in the church, and the church had paid them $6,000 allegedly to provide turkeys for Christmas or Thanksgiving, one of those holidays. This couple would take the money and they would take the food donations, and all the food would go bad. It would just be rotting. So they would take donations, they would receive them, they would get money from these organizations to be able to provide food to them. And then they would just let all the food rot outside. And they had did this in 3 different locations. I was like, why y'all keep trusting these people with y'all? And what they would do is that they would go to a church and they would say, hey, we want to do this. We want to donate. Can we use your space, right? They were pretty much like renting or borrowing the space from a church. They would be taking all these food donations, all this money from food donations that they were supposed to give out. And then they would let all the food rot. I'm talking about in one location, they had vandalized it. I say vandalized because if you leave a bunch of dirt in my location and a bunch of rotting food, I consider that vandalism, allegedly. It was so bad that the place, the church, where they had left all this rotting food, I almost wanted to pick my feet up off the floor. I'm about to tell you this. It was so bad that it had become infested with mice. They had mice. They probably had roaches up in there. And the food was rotted. So it smelled so bad. So they had a lot of fruit flies. We're going to talk about this story later on in the week. It should be a crime to let all that food go bad and get wasted like that when there are people out here who are starving. So what happened to the couple? The couple had to arrange for the court that they were going to pay restitution for the damages done to the church. And they set them up on a payment plan. They missed one of those payments, so now there's a warrant out for their arrest. Y'all, I said, this is crazy. I know, screaming. I almost wanted to move my food and pick my food off the floor. But we're going to talk about that story later on in the week in Time for Tea. And I'm going to show you guys a video. And when you see this couple, you're going to be like, I don't know why people were trusting them. They look like, in my opinion, allegedly, they look like they got some type of drug use going on or something. They didn't look right. And when you see all the food, it was mind-boggling. And all they would do is they would go down the street to another church and they would ask to use their space. And then what the people were saying was like, they talked a good game. And they had like a legit looking, it wasn't a foundation. I think it was a non-profit. It looked legit. They had a logo. They had their paperwork. Like, it looked legit. They was just doing some shady stuff in the background. So we're going to talk about that. Scribbly said, back when I was on my big bag era, I ordered a family meal from KFC to eat on for 2 days. Okay. Not that you was gonna say you ate it in one sitting. I was like, what? But 2 days. That is a big bag situation, but it's not as big baggish as it could have been. Okay. But yes, y'all, people don't like to cook and all that stuff. But yes, this story was crazy, and like to see all that, and rotting food is gonna attract all type of critters and things, and they pretty much would pick up and leave. So then it's like all that stuff that they had to clean up will be left on the owner or the church. And then my thing is this: you scamming the church? You scamming the church? Now you know you wrong for that, and you know your karma gonna get you. Come on now. But we made Loco Moco today, which is a Hawaiian dish. We got the rice, beef patty, we got some gravy, egg over medium, egg over easy, or not, sorry, this is a sunny side up egg. I got it confused. Egg over, when they say how you want your eggs, easy is runny yolks and whites. Medium is runny yolks. Hard is all of it is cooked throughout. Sunny side up is where it looks like this. Poached egg is the one that you cook in boiling water. Hard-boiled egg is, of course, the one that you cook in water with the shell on. So many ways to cook eggs. But that's about it for this episode. I'm going to wrap up and get up out of here. But before I do want to do a special shout out to the gang, which is Blue and Casey. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. And I did release a members only post today. And this live stream is members only live chat. So everybody can view the live stream, but only members can communicate in the chat. Only members or moderators. YouTube allows the moderators, which makes a lot of sense because you never know, to communicate in the chat when it's members only live chat. We are going to be back later on today. We're going to be prepping. I'll be posting this recipe very, very soon. When this video ends, come back and leave a comment down below. Hit the like button. Check out my pre-recorded videos on my channel. Shout out to everybody for coming through, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. I'm out of here. Foodiegang, gang, gang.